WTIM. Welcome in to the WTIM, your information station. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Let's thank our sponsors that make it all possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. In my studio now is Andrew Holsinger, horticulture educator for the University of Illinois Extension. How are you today, Mr. Holsinger?
All right.
Thank you so much for being in here with us. And we definitely needed to have a conversation because temps have gone awry and, gardens are out there failing and people need to know. But before we get into all of these, weather-related topics, let's talk some events coming down the way for you. An important one here, pesticide applicator and operator testing. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, the Illinois Department of Ag offers some testing at some of our local offices. And so found the schedule was put out there on the counter and thought I'd bring it in to you. And so it looks like Monday, January 8th, they have it scheduled from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. here at the Christian County Extension Office at 1120 North Webster Street. So if you need to get your pesticide applicator license updated, there is a renewal of keeping those up to date. So it's a perfect opportunity for you to come in, take the test. Usually they have the general standards and what other tests you might need offered. So you can come in, get that taken care of, and should be a pretty easy process for getting signed up. Just make sure you get signed up. I know that they have had occasional walk-in, but there's limitations to amount of seating, things like that.
It sounds like they're making it easy on everyone. And I didn't know you needed to be licensed to apply pesticides. That's for all pesticides?
Yeah, there's for the majority, especially of the restricted use pesticides. So there's some pesticides that have a restricted use where there may have more toxicity or more concerns. And so those pesticides, you have to be licensed in order to purchase those and to apply those.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. So this is even more important for people that are running close to the end there on their current licensure. There's 2 more dates. Would you like me to read them or do you want to read them?
Oh, you can read them.
Awesome. Thursday, January 18th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Montgomery County Extension. That's 1 Industrial Park, Dr. Hillsborough. That's
Drive.
I said Drive. Tuesday, March 12th or Wednesday, April 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Macoupin County Extension. That's at 60 Carlinville Plaza in Carlinville. So many opportunities there to get relicensed in pesticides. And that's an important thing to get going. Do it before winter season even happens.
Yeah, it's a good time for these training opportunities, testing opportunities throughout the winter season. I know the University of Illinois Extension has a pesticide education team, and they offer the training in cooperation with the Illinois Department of Agriculture. So that way you can get the training, then take the testing, and they have sites all around the state that they're getting scheduled, and should be a good opportunity for you to get some education and get your test out of the way.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you got to register online. Mr. Holsinger said maybe a walk in here or there, but you register online just to make sure at go.illinois.edu/CJMM events. And that's where you can get registered for the pesticide applicator and operator testing. And those are happening in the upcoming months here. Now, can we move on to our next couple of fun classes that are coming down the way here?
Sure.
Awesome. Tell me about these.
Oh, I have at the Carlinville Public Library, I'm going to be having a pollinator garden design. So learning how to design pollinator plants to incorporate those for those pollinators. It's an important aspect for our environment. And that's on November 7th from 2 to 3 again at the Carlinville Public Library. So if you want to take a trip over there and enjoy that program. But here locally at Christian County, I have Garden Planning 101. Getting started in your realm of garden planning. So this is going to be a deep dive into garden planning to get you started in the process of thinking what you need to develop a garden, thinking about things of not only the plants, but also the materials, the know-how to get going and get started. That's on November 13th from 2 to 4.
Awesome. So those classes always interest me because everyone's garden needs are different. If I live and I only have a balcony, which is my current situation, there are plans for me, right?
Yeah, there's containerized plants that you can do. I've seen some containers actually fit over the rail, and so you can have your pepper plants there about waist level and go out on the balcony and harvest to your heart's content and get what you need from the garden. So there's a lot of adaptability to whenever it comes to gardening. And Accessibility is a good point to make, that you can have things at your level, not only for experience level, but also your adaptations to your lifestyle. And if you just have a balcony, well, you make the most of it and get the most out of your gardening efforts. And people's schedules are different too, and so you got to have what works for you. You might want to get into hydroponics here through the winter season. So even though it's cold outside, you could be growing plants indoors.
Wow. Can you explain a little bit? And you don't have to explain the whole things of hydroponics, but how does that process work?
Well, hydroponics primarily uses a nutrient solution in water, and there's different forms and variations, but you're providing the nutrients through that water-based solution with those nutrients added. You have your grow lights that keep the plants photosynthesizing and producing that energy, and so that can make for a good leafy greens, lettuces, even seen some small cherry tomatoes grown indoors through the winter. And you have a lot more than just herbs that you can be growing inside. So,
wow, we're learning that today. That's really interesting. And there are ways. Of course, you need to have a special spot in your house, I'm sure, to have this whole operation set up.
well, it is good to have it, a dedicated space, and have, lettuce grows about the optimal temperature is about 70 degrees. So if you like it around 70, why not grow it in your house throughout the winter and have some of those quick to grow, easy to harvest kind of plants in there, and you can have salad throughout the winter season too.
Sure. There's so many things to consider when talking about garden planning, and be inside, it can be outside, it can be for if you have a personal garden in your backyard, or if you just have a balcony. Are there a lot of questions at these, or do you have a kind of a specific route you take? And you kind of mentioned 3 different styles, or how does that work?
Well, it just again, it's adaptable to your situation. So there's a kind of hydroponics where it's the ebb and flow, where you flood the plants and then you let it ebb away. Or there's the kind of the commercial aspect where they have a nutrient film technique where the water's constantly flowing over the root systems of the plants. And they're scalable. So if you got started as a hobbyist and you picked up that interest, that small scale could be expanded to a larger scale. And I've seen people that wanted a additional source of income. So the particular individual was like a sales rep for a ag company, but he wanted some additional income, and so he started a greenhouse and had a wood fire kind of heating system, and developed a product line of lettuces that he would deliver to local restaurants and have a value added agriculture, and increased the amount of profitability for his livelihood. And so there's things that we could do like that to, increase our revenue stream. And it's pretty amazing what you can do.
It really is. That person found a whole new revenue stream, like you just said. And what a great way to utilize your farming skills. You're able to grow these easier forms of plants, like lettuce. You said it grows inside at a 70-degree temperature. I mean, if you keep your house at 70 degrees, it's a perfect place to do it. And we're talking about the Garden Planning 101. This one is here in Christian County on November 13th from 2 to 4 p.m. And anything else people need to know about that one? Do I need to be registered?
Yeah, register online, and same kind of scenario. The
Sure.
go.illinois.edu/CJMM events will get you there.
Yeah, not the easiest URL, but not to say at least, but it's go.illinois.edu/CJMM events. That's Christian, Jersey, Macoupin, Montgomery. No,
You got it right. Yeah.
6 months of doing this, you think I'll figure something out. We're going to take our short little break here. We're sitting down with Andrew Holsinger. He's the horticulture educator for the University of Illinois Extension. When we come back, we're going to talk some about this cold weather and what it's doing to the local plants that are around Taylorville and Central Illinois. I'm Tim Zalback, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Fall means being active to attend your favorite festivals and bonfires. Let Taylorville Care Center help you get back into doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, recover and return home with Taylorville Care Center's therapy program. Great medical care with private rooms. Family and friends can come by to encourage your recovery. For Taylorville Care Center's therapy program, call 824-9636, 824-9636, caring for the community for over 50 years.
Hi everyone, Brandon Bible here, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Presser in Taylorville. Myself, along with my wife Samantha and our assistant Nicole Patrick, are proud to recognize the Tornado student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Player of the Game during Tornado sports broadcast this school year. WTIM announcers will select a player at the end of each game who will receive a certificate for being named our Player of the Game. Good luck to all teams this season and go Tornadoes!
Your Christian County Health Department has both COVID and flu vaccines available, and both high-dose and regular dose flu vaccines are in stock. You can get both the COVID and flu vaccine shots at the same time, and there are a handful of egg-free flu vaccines available. Call the Christian County Health Department now for your appointment at 217-824-4113. That's 824-4113. Your Christian County Health Department is always working for a healthier future.
Hi, this is Congresswoman Mary Miller. It's my privilege to advocate for my fellow farmers on the House Agriculture Committee. As your servant representative, I want your thoughts and feedback on the upcoming Farm Bill. The first bill I introduced in Congress bans China and our adversaries from purchasing U.S. farmland. I also introduced legislation to prevent Biden EPA policies from imposing burdensome regulations on farmers. I also voted to support crop insurance and promote trade policies that benefit farmers. Please visit my website, marymiller.house.gov, or call the office of Congresswoman Mary Miller in Mahomet, Illinois, to share your thoughts on ag policy with me. While you're there, remember to sign up for my weekly newsletter to stay informed on important votes and hearings in Washington. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Hi, this is Andrea Bach from the Christian County YMCA, where it's all about youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Find out about our great programs and activities at your local YMCA by clicking our icon on the obituary page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Fall means attending your favorite festivals and bonfires. Taylorville Care Center can help get you back to doing what you want, like attending a local fall festival. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Tim Zalabak. Today we're sitting down with Andrew Holsinger, a horticulture educator for the University of Illinois Extension. Let's thank our sponsors that make the stream possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We were sitting down with Andrew Holsinger for the first half there. We were talking about a great pesticide applicator and operator testing program. It'll be coming to Christian County Extension on January 8th. It'll come into Montgomery County Extension on January 18th, and Macoupin County Extension on Tuesday, March 12th, or Wednesday, April 3rd. All of those can be found on go.illinois.edu/CJMM events, and a couple of great garden planning events. The one in Christian County on November 13th from 2 to 4 p.m., and that'll be at the Christian County Extension, and get up to date on all of your garden planning knowledge. Now, Mr. Holsinger, we have reached some interesting temperatures here across central Illinois. It's 28 degrees when I leave the house in the morning. It's 60 degrees when I leave work. Tell me about this. What's the plants doing?
Well, the plants are going to be dependent on the plant.
Okay.
So your ones that don't survive frost and freeze, well, forget about it, because if you didn't protect them, hard freeze killing frost, as they call it. So the plants that you didn't bring in, that your house plants, if you had tropicals, well, not a good situation for you. But other plants, they are adaptable, and it's amazing how adaptable plants are to their environment. And so you look at trees, the fall leaves and the beauty there that we've had, but then the trees move into the dormant period where they go through that stage of dormancy. A lot of them lose their leaves. They're your deciduous trees, and they put their resources into the root system for that winter survival. You have some of the trees, you talk about adaptations, you think about those waxy kind of leaves like your holly bushes, and well, that waxy surface, it helps to lower some of the moisture loss that you have throughout the winter time. So that wax cuticle is a protective measure by the plant. And so you just look at how the plants transform throughout the seasons, and there's definitely some beauty to be desired. I was just thinking about ornamental grasses. A lot of ornamental grasses we keep maybe for some winter interest. So you can think about your winter interest for the upcoming winter. You know, maybe we'll have snow this year, maybe we won't. You can look at just the changes of the season, and we'll have a big change here coming up. It's daylight savings time just around the corner, so plants are sensitive to light. You know, I may not want to wake up next week with that time change, but that time change, as the day length shortens, that affects plants. And so we can look at the way that plants are sensitive to daylight. It holds true for like your strawberries, you know, the way that they uh, you have them blooming and that fruit coming in for the season for that June bearing. Well, that's a light sensitivity issue. And so some of the triggering of the mums, you know, for them to bloom, your poinsettias, you know, if you're going to be having a poinsettia that you're going to want to bloom for the upcoming, well, you had to put it into the closet and keep it in the dark. So that way you could trigger that light sensitivity for that day length. So it's just amazing how adapted plants are to their environment and what they do. Some plants, they are allelopathic, and so they put out chemicals into their root systems to help prevent competition of other plants taking up their space. So I'm just amazed at all the differences that plants have and the unique opportunity that we get to enjoy all the differences in plants. And it may be cold outside, but there are, you know, indoor opportunities of conservatories and greenhouses, and it's pretty amazing how things have adapted over the years. For, you know, people wanted to have plants throughout the winter season, and so you think about the reason greenhouses were started for like oranges and things of that nature, to bring beauty and comfort and something different into the people's lives that lived here. So just interesting things.
Well, now I'm amazed at all the processes that happen, because a lot of them go right over my head. But you know, I love the way you speak with so much passion about horticulture, and you know, it resonates well with me. I got a weird question about, you know, trees change their leaf colors and they fall. You kind of mentioned that process. What is that process actually doing for the tree itself and it resprouts?
Well, you know that those colors are actually there all the time, but then the chlorophyll, the green, is faded away. And so there's certain elements that are a part of that factor of photosynthesis, and you have your anthocyanins and those different colors, and a lot of that also has to do with temperature. And so depending on the night temperatures and the balance of the chemicals within the leaves, all that takes into consideration. That's why in some areas you can have very vivid, just breathtaking fall color, and then other places, and not so much. It's not going to do as different, you know, as some of these more extravagant kind of changes of fall color. But as we look through the seasons, you know, like the sugar maples have great fall color a lot of the time. And then whenever February rolls around, it'll be time for people making maple syrup. And so that's another kind of value added tree that people utilize. So you can utilize the natural resources of the tree. It's going to be producing that sap, and there's many that boil that down, and a lot of places locally you can go, and Funk's Grove is one up near Bloomington to go and partake of some of those fine qualities that we have with some of our trees.
Totally. Yeah, so many fun things to know about the winter season, changes happening in plants, and of course we're looking already into the springtime, where, you know, there's always things to know about and look at. We're running close to the end here, Mr. Holsinger. Any last words for our listeners?
Oh, just check out our website. We have a lot of information that's on our state website, extension.illinois.edu. We have a Gardener's Corner newsletter article, and there's an online event called Gardening in the Air that's happening this Saturday. So if you need something to do and enjoy some indoor temperatures with a webinar, there's several in gardening in the air.
Amazing. Mr. Holsinger, thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, good to be here.
Absolutely. That's Andrew Holsinger, horticulture educator for the U of I Extension. All those events can be found at go.illinois.edu/CJMM events. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening.
Your information station, WTIM.
Sea and air, Israel's Gaza offensive rolls on. Israeli troops have advanced